Hello, welcome to the first ever video created by me. That is just me talking here. And we're about to be talking about the Destiny 2 lore. Actually, no, Destiny 1 lore. Alrighty, so as I just pull up my document over here, I can find it, please. Right here. Shit. Give me 1 second to find this document that I wrote and put it over on the other side where I have both my documents. Alright. I want to make this clear that I will not be covering any Forsaken or Shadowkeep. This does contain spoilers. If you haven't played Destiny yet, click off now. This is your final warning. I want to say that because I don't want anyone having spoilers. Okay. With that being said, let's jump into it. Starting with the present day. What would you do if you turn on the morning news and seeing that you were not alone in the universe and set off to make contact with okay, you know what? This is really difficult. Because basically, if you want to see what I'm looking at, let me just drag this over here. I have a better document. This is basically Destiny 1 storyline. I want to make this clear enough. This is what I'm writing off of. So, basically, what it's talking about is blah, 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 darkness shit, all this. As the darkness approaches, just use all that out there. I'll go ahead and read that. I'm going to mute my mic for a little bit. Hang out here. Okay, as we get back from that. Okay, let's get on with the business that we need. We're just going to keep it as a dark screen from now on. Destiny is an online multiplayer first-person shooter video game developed by Bungie and is published by Activision. It was released worldwide on September 9th, 2014 for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One consoles. Destiny marked by Bungie first new console franchise since Halo series, and it was the first game in a 10-year agreement between Bungie and Activision. Set the mythic science fiction world, the game features a multiplayer shared world environment with elements of role-playing games. Activities in Destiny are divided among player versus environments and a player versus environment game types. In addition, normal story mode PvE features 3-player strikes and 6 traditional 6-player raids. A free roam patrol mode is also available for each planet. The features public events. PvP features objective-based modes as well as traditional deathmatch game modes. Players take on the role of a guardian, protectors of Earth's last safe city, as they wield the power called the Light to protect the city from different alien races. Guardians are tasked with reviving a celestial being called the Traveler, while journeying to different planets to investigate and destroy the alien threats before humanity is completely wiped out. Bungie is released for expansion packs, further the story, and adding new content missions. And new PvP modes. Year 1 of Destiny features 2 small expansions, The Dark Below in December 2014, A House of Wolves in May 2015. A third larger expansion, The Taken King, was released in September 2015. And marked the beginning of Year 2, changing much of the core gameplay. The base game and the first 3 expansions were packaged into Destiny: The Taken King Legendary Edition, another large expansion called Rise of the Iron. Am I saying right that? Yep. Saying that right. Was released in September 2016, beginning Year 3. Rise of Iron was only released for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 clients were stopped receiving content update. The base game and all 4 expansions were packaged in the Destiny 2 collection, a direct sequel. Destiny 2, released in September 2015. Upon its release, received generally positive reviews with criticism centered mostly around the game's storyline and post-campaign content. The game was praised for maintaining lineage from Halo, the franchise, particularly in regards to its competitive experiences on day one of its release. It's over 325 million US dollars at retail in its first 5 days, making the biggest new franchise launch of all time. It was Game Raiders 2014 Game of the Year. It received I don't care. I don't really care about that. Award for the best game of 2014 British Academy Video Game Awards. Gameplay. Destiny style has been described as a first-person shooter that incorporates role-playing and MMO elements, but Bungie has avoided describing Destiny as a traditional MMO game. Instead, the game has been referred to as a shared world shooter, as it lacks many of the characteristics of a traditional MMO game. For instance, rather than players being able to communicate with all other players in the game or on a particular server, as is the case in many conventional MMO games, Destiny includes one that fly matchmaking that allows players to communicate only with other players with whom they are matched by the game. To communicate with other players in the game world, players must use their respective console messaging system. Scroll down my page. Warlocks are designed as a mage or a space wizard with a large focus on offensive abilities, recover, and melee attacks. They can reduce the cooldown time of its abilities in Super the World Void Walker subclass. Nova Bomb is an expensively powerful spear of void energy capable of being thrown in different ways. Its Sunslinger subclass features abilities based around the solar element, with Radiance Super allowing the player temporarily improve their statistics or receive themselves if killed. Revive them. Okay, you know what? Fuck this. This is very difficult. Or revive themselves if killed. The Taken King added some Sunbreaker subclass, which features a solar-based super, the Hammer of Soul, creating a flaming hammer that can be thrown at enemies or used for close quarters combat. The expansion April update increased to 3,335 players. Equipment includes weapons and armor. Legendary and exotic items are the best items for players' characters, and only the one exotic weapon and the one exotic armor can be equipped at one time. There are several different classes of weapons that are categorized as either a primary, special, or heavy weapon. Several weapons have an element damage type. There are arc, solar, and void. All damage types will deplete enemy shields of that type faster, and of that type faster. And the weapon will also do extra damage to enemies of its gameplay modifiers. Arc burn, solar burn, and void burn are active. Or the original maximum attack damage for the legendary and exotic weapons was 300. This increased to 331 with the Dark Below and 365 with the House of Wolves. Because of the change to the light level system, the Taken King numerically changed weapons 365 damage to 170, but with no loss in damage output, as with armor, weapons attack damage contributes to the light level, and all gear can be infused to increase their numbers. Players versus players. In addition, these players versus environment challenges. Players versus players. Combat exists in what is called the Crucible. The Crucible, which can have a maximum of 12 players depending on the game type, contains playlists of PvP modes including Control, Clash, Rumble, and Skirmish. Alright, that is about all I have time for tonight. Expect a possible part 2 tomorrow. Hope you have a good night. I gotta go edit this, so I gotta cut it here short. Title of this video is Lore Somewhat, and what I have about Destiny 2's release and background. Stay chillin'. Peace out. Ellie Martinez out.